Hello, everybody. I'm Kirsten with Chestnut Hill Endocrinology. I'm doing the diabetes class for Center on the Hill again. Usually the last week of the month, we do a cooking class, but since with social distancing, we are not meeting anymore. Soon we will, hopefully about the end of May, I think. So we're going to do a little cooking class here in my little kitchen, but I'm not actually going to cook. I just want to go over the recipes this way. Mary Angela is here. She has some questions, and she's going to help me with a little question and answer about the recipes. We'll go over about 3 recipes, and we can get started in a little bit.
Yay! This is
Marilyn,
great.
did you have
This is great. Yeah, so I know that you had sent me some of the recipes that you're going to be talking about today in advance, and one of my first questions is, how hard are these things to find? Particularly like the recipe talking about tempeh. Where do I find that tempeh in the store?
Absolutely. All of the recipe ingredients that I have are not super specialty. You can get them at Giant and ShopRite. Most of them you can get at Aldi's, except for the plant-based proteins. Aldi's is not regular for that. They have some bean salads that are good. But for the smoky tempeh that I'm going to use today is in the tofu section of any grocery store. It's not made out of tofu. I do not like tofu. The only tofu that I use is already marinated and baked. It's called a teriyaki tofu. That one has like the richest flavor. Occasionally, I've been able to find the barbecue tofu. That's even better, but like I said, I have rarely been able to find that. There's a sesame ginger lemon tofu that's pretty good. But today, I was going to do a curry smoky tempeh. And again, that's in, sometimes it's in with the vegetables. Sometimes it's around a corner in the organic section. And the smoky tempeh is, well, I have some right here. So it's called, over here, bacon. And it's a smoky tempeh, and it's just a long, narrow thing. This whole thing is 28 grams of protein. So if you cut it in half, that's a nice serving of 14 grams of protein. It's a little more protein than chicken or beef or fish. So these tempeh and the tofu and the seitan are a great option just to have a couple of meatless meals where you're not always doing beans all the time. Beans and nuts and paste and pestos, they're wonderful too. But I really like the bacon. It goes with all kinds of roasted vegetables. Anytime you would put bacon in something like soups, it has a lot of protein, where bacon is just really a fat source. So today I'd like to start with our bean avocado dip. Mary Angela, did you have that so they could see it?
I do. It's like a bean avocado dip. Let's do this one. There it is.
Yeah, out of the 3 recipes, this one is by far the easiest. You just need a whole bunch of cans and jars. So you're going to start out with a can of black beans, a can of the corn. Sometimes it has some peppers in it. A can of diced tomatoes, just 15 ounce or 12 ounces. A couple of fresh tomatoes if you want to chop those up. An onion, nice sweet onion or a red onion, chop that up fine. Using a little bit of wine vinegar, really a splash, a quarter cup or less. And same thing with olive oil, a quarter cup. And then there's packets that you can make dip with. It's called a ranch dip, or ranch dip is actually what you're looking for, and it's in a powder, and it's in 2 envelopes as 1 package. You're just going to use one of those, half of 1 serving, and it's garnished with an avocado. I love avocados, so I would do 2 and cube them up and mix them up. So it just adds a nice fat to the recipe. And like I said, all of these are jars. You mix them up in a mixing bowl. Oh, I should have a mixing bowl here. And this dish can be used as a dip with corn chips. It can be used as a topping on top of a salad with some different kinds of lettuces, or you could just have it as a side dish because it's mostly beans and corns and vegetables. It's a great source of all of our macros, our protein and fat, and our carbohydrates and our fibers.
Yeah, that looks great. I'm looking at the nutrition facts over there, and that's pretty great. The amount of protein against the amount of sugars, that's really good.
So as a topping on a salad or as a dip, you would use about a half a cup at the most, and that's 9 grams of carbs and 2 or 3 grams of protein in just a half a cup. So it's delightful. If you wanted to add some more sunflower seeds, that would add some more protein to it. If you wanted to sprinkle also some nutritional yeast, that gives it more of a cheesy flavor, goes nice with the chips. But this is a very fast, delicious dip. Usually when I bring this to a party, I don't bring anything back, just the bowl, because it gets eaten up really nicely. And if you do make this, you can bring half to a party and save half at your house, and then you could use it for lunches and dinners and snacks for yourself, because like I said, it's just a whole bunch of cans and jars. You mix them together, they're delicious, it's quick and easy, and you can always add it to your daily salad. That's a great one.
Awesome. That's perfect. All right. I'm going to
The
stop.
second recipe I want to do, or the second recipe I was going to do is with, it's called the Best Ever Broccoli Salad. I think you've seen this in the deli section at the grocery store. It will have some bacon bits and that kind of thing in it. When you call that up, there it is. So you use 4 cups of broccoli florets. I'm also finding now that the frozen broccoli, they're taking the freezer trucks right out into the fields, and they're washing off the broccoli and they're freezing it directly. So when you thaw it, it's still raw, it's still crunchy. So if you didn't, if you're at the store and the 4 cups of broccoli florets are more expensive than you want to pay, you can always get the frozen ones. A couple of cups is easily $1 or less, as opposed to $1 a crown. So it's up to you, whatever you want to use. If you want to also split it with half broccoli, half cauliflower, that's a nice mix. A half a pound of bacon, you cook it up and you make it nice and crispy. Or you use bacon bits. You can get bacon bits that are real bacon, and you can get the super crunchy ones that is a soy product. And 2 tablespoons is, again, like 3 or 4 grams of protein already. Again, a red onion, you chop it up, and some dried cranberries to give it a little sweetness. A half a cup of grated carrots. Grated carrots can come in a bag. You can use half the bag. Some chopped celery and sunflower seeds. So this is a really crunchy salad. You can mix it up with a cup of mayonnaise or a cup of Miracle Whip. Like I said, 4 cups of broccoli with all these ingredients. It makes a lot. Actually, I have a mixing bowl. I should have had this out. It makes a lot. So if you wanted to half the recipe, that would be fine. But if you're having people over, that would be wonderful. You can use that whole recipe. So it's like a cup of mayonnaise, or Miracle Whip is sweeter. If you're going to use mayonnaise, I would use a little sugar in there, and then 1/3 of a cup of cider vinegar as like the dressing with the mayonnaise. Add a little salt as you would like to taste it. Taste it first, see if it needs salt. And you can also add a little sugar to it if you're not using Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip is sweeter than mayonnaise. See if you want to add a little bit of sugar to it. But once you make it, let it sit in the fridge for half an hour. Good luck with that. You'll probably eat it in the fridge. That's what happens with us. And we'll have this stuff for breakfast. I mean, it is just, I don't know what about it. It just makes you want to have more. The crunchy broccoli and the Miracle Whip, the bacon bits, it's delicious.
Yeah, this doesn't last long in our house. We make this a lot. We bought this at the grocery store several times. It's like one of our favorites. It doesn't live long because it's so good, and you can eat it all the time. And it's really filling, because
It is.
sometimes I eat a salad and I'm hungry 2 minutes later, but that is not the case with this. You can really eat it and be like, I ate a good amount, and it feels good. So yeah, this is great.
And I like it because for less than $10, you can get this much, which is a lot, compared to one of those, large containers. I mean, that might even be $15. So it's a lot less expensive when you make it yourself, and you can
Yep.
make it the way you like it. Maybe you don't want to have the cranberries in it, or maybe you want to have some more sunflower seeds, anything you want. If you want to add some peppers to it, it's really just per your taste. And I always love to be able to make salads, and then you can have it the way you want to have it, and you're gonna have more than enough in the refrigerator.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, my husband swaps out the cranberries for currants sometimes. He likes just a little bit of currant, but not so much in the cranberries. Yeah, so they're good.
That's a great idea. I love that idea. I have to try that. People also will use walnuts in there,
Mm-hmm.
with the the bite of the walnut and the sweetness of the dressing and everything is very good. The last one is the smoky tempeh with carrot slaw. This is a modification from Purple Carrot. Purple Carrot is a kit that you subscribe to, and you can get 3 or 4 meals for something like $70 or $75. That's a lot. So, but when you get the meal, when you subscribe to Purple Carrot and you get the 4 meals for $70 or whatever, you also get 6 other recipes. So this is one of the recipes that I got from that kit, the Purple Carrot. I love the recipes, but I'm too cheap to subscribe. So we do it, I think we've done it twice and gotten like 12 recipes. It's pretty nice. But this one is a real hit. My family likes it, and they are not meatless people at all. So the fact that they like this, I think, is pretty smart. I made it in the cooking class a couple times, and the key is using a large frying pan, and you melt some of the coconut oil. Coconut oil, you know, is like hard as a rock, but once the temperatures get up to be in the 70s, this will be a liquid, and you just need like a tablespoon. It just gives some good flavor. And then you'll chop up a whole onion, a big sweet onion, and you will, this is where that smoky bacon bacon comes in, the smoky tempeh. And you'll cut the package opening. It's going to be wet, so I just put it right in there with the onions and the coconut oil and get it nice and hot. I chop it up so that you can get all the little bits and pieces nice and crispy and crunchy. And then on top of the smoky tempeh with the onions and the, you can buy grated carrots. So, or you can grate your own carrots, but I love the grated carrots. They're very thick. And then a cup of walnuts. And you put them all in there with the lid, which is right over here. Well, I can't find my lid right now, but when you put the lid on there with the carrots and all of the ingredients, it makes a steam, and it steams it up. And then I'll take a bowl, a smaller bowl. Even just a measuring cup is really great. And then you can measure out the 1/4 cup of cream cheese, and then a couple tablespoons of soy sauce, and the lemon, and the curry powder. Now, curry powder, how's that really? Yeah, that is generic. People in India, every house has their own recipe. This is 5 to 15 different spices. And it's got a little kick to it, but it's also a little sweet. So you only need about a tablespoon, and you'll mix it in for the sauce for this, and then a little bit of vegetable broth. There is a vegetable broth that I really like. It's called Better Than Bouillon. Oops. Guess I should have brought it out. But
I can attest to that stuff.
This stuff. Yeah, the vegetarian one, you just use a little a teaspoon of it with a cup of water and instant vegetable broth. You don't even need to add water. Like if you're sauteing vegetables and you just take a little tip from your knife, saute it in there, it's got such a richer flavor than just salt or butter or however you want to do it. So you thin out the sauce with the little bit of the vegetable broth, you pour it over the already simmered carrots and walnuts, and then I don't know, wait 2 minutes or something, and the whole thing melds together. It's delicious on a steamed cauliflower. It's also good on an iceberg lettuce if you're doing this in the summer and you want to have a warm salad. And it's also good by itself. And it makes 4 servings, but it's large servings. And usually, you know, you make it once and you can have it for dinner and then have it again for lunch on your salad. And it's just a lot of protein, a lot of nutrition. There's a lot of, with the walnuts is the omega-3, it's anti-inflammatory. Same thing in the curry, there's gonna be some turmeric in there, that's anti-inflammatory. There's no animal meat, so it's not gonna make your body acidic. It's gonna do the reverse, get rid of any extra acidity. It's just a delightful meatless meal. I'm finding a lot of the meatless meals are vegetarian chili. And I'm kind of tired of vegetarian chili all the time. So this one is a nice selection.
Yeah.
Did you have any questions?
No, that all seems really, really quite clear. So I know, I mean, I've shopped for curries before, and I know that they're like, sometimes you see like red curry and green curry, and like, I should be looking for more like just powdered curry powder that's more of like a orange yellow type powder?
Yes. It's going to be very mild. The redder ones, I believe, are spicy, and the green ones also have a lot of spices that we're not as used to, unless you're used to eating a lot of Italian, Indian food. But this one is very mild. I think it was just simply organic. Did I get this at Giant? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've seen those there. Yeah, that's the brand they have there. Yeah.
Yeah, and my family can't take 2 tablespoons. So just start with 1 tablespoon, mix it up. If you have to add more of the cauliflower or the vegetable broth, that's fine. But I've had other people who are like 2 tablespoons is nothing. So, work your way and see how you like it. But all 3 of these dishes you can make within 10 minutes. So that's my goal. I'm
Great.
not one to sit around in the kitchen. Yeah.
Could I put that in a pita? Does that change things?
What a great idea. All of them could go in a pita. I like that.
And then I know pita bread
pita
is slightly less carbohydrates than if I'm eating, a lot of
bread. 2 pieces of bread. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The thinner envelope, and it's got a rich, and these grains from the wheat products have a lot of vitamin B, and vitamin B gives us energy. It keeps us up in the afternoon, so we're not getting all sleepy and everything. I know a lot of people are doing a mostly very low carb diet and having mostly vegetables and protein, and 2 o'clock in the afternoon they're snoozing.
Yeah. The itis, that's what we call it. But I've noticed since I've changed my eating habits, I don't get the itis in the afternoon anymore.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Great. Well, thank you, Kirsten, so much for all of this. We look forward to next week to talking with you again. And thanks, everybody, for watching.
Thank you. Have a good day. Stay healthy.